Alright, people, this is gonna sound really weird. So, the Knicks traded Kristaps Porzingis, Tim Hardaway Jr., Trey Burke, and Courtney Lee to the Mavericks for DeAndre Jordan, Dennis Smith Jr., and what was it? Wes Matthews, and two future first round picks. Now, so here's what makes it so weird. Um, the night before he got traded, the day before he got traded, the Knicks played the Mavs, pretty much. The game where the Knicks were playing the Mavs, if I'm correct, they won that game. But Kristaps was shaking, Porzingis was shaking Luka's hand at the end of the game. They were just laughing with each other, and then they were like sending like a secret to each other. So he knew he was getting traded maybe to the Dallas Mavericks maybe like 2 days ago. So it didn't come as a surprise. But why would the Knicks take this trade? And you look at what the Hawks did. We traded Luka Doncic, of course, and I think there's a real conspiracy going on here. That if you look deeper at it, you can see that maybe the league is doing this to keep Mark Cuban sort of happy in a way, because he was complaining about something about I have to look at it again, but it was like something about superstars and how they're talking about basically what AD's doing, Anthony Davis. So we're gonna talk about him later. So I'm saying it's something to keep Mark Cuban happy, because this is a weird coincidence. Like Kristaps is a franchise player for the Knicks, and he was a franchise player for the Knicks. So him being the future Dirk Nowitzki, like that's not a coincidence. Like if you look at how this team's assembled, they're assembled like the Boston Celtics of the '80s. Like they found Kevin McHale. Basically, this is like Larry Bird and Kevin McHale type play, and it's not just because they're white. Always because they have very good skills. So I'm comparing Luka to Larry Bird. I am, but I'm also can say Trae Young might be the future Magic Johnson. In fact, he's the future Magic Johnson as far as I'm concerned. But I'm gonna talk about the Mavs for a second. So they pulled off an incredible trade, but an underrated piece to this is Tim Hardaway Jr. Like if you don't buy him out, like if he stays on the team, like I have the Mavs. They might get one playoff spot. If you look at the playoffs now, the Lakers are on the outs, but I know they're gonna be because LeBron just returned last night against the Clippers. They won the game in overtime by 3 points, but now they're gonna have a better shot at winning games. So the Lakers might be at least the seventh seed. But I would say the Mavs, they can sneak in and get to AC because Kristaps is going to return for injury like in March. So if he comes back healthy, Luka's firing, Tim Hardaway Jr. is already going to be playing. So I mean, this is a dangerous team. They already have now. You have backup point guard and Trey Burke, who's better than JJ Barea at the moment. And if you think about it, he probably might even be a starting point guard. It's probably what they're going to do. But Luka's already playing point guard, so I think Luka should play small forward, but he can play like a point forward. So there's that. And then, what else? Okay, Anthony Davis is getting traded, 100%. He's getting traded. He got moved from the starting intro video. He is, not the first superstar in the past 3 years, pretty much, to request trades like this, and he's earned it. Anthony Davis has earned it because you look at the Pelicans. Besides when they got DeMarcus, like the Pelicans don't really have anything that they built around him besides Drew Holiday. Then so besides Drew and DeMarcus, then they haven't really built much. I mean, you look at the offseason. Julius Randle was a great pickup, great pickup. He's averaging over 20 points, around 20 points, and but Alfred Payton, like. If you look at the other guys, Jaquil Okafor, these are developmental talents. These are still guys who are trying to find their way in the league. So if you take a chance on those guys, you're not really trying to build a championship team. So definitely Anthony Davis had to find a way out. So he asked for this trade. So he hasn't been traded yet, but names are coming out. Toronto's a good candidate. The Celtics have always been good, but you're trying to find out who to trade, and I'm looking at everybody but Kyrie. And what sucks is I would say trade Jaylen Brown, but Jason Tatum is just so talented. You shouldn't even want to trade him. And you look at the Lakers. they might have to trade the guys who are the future, like who will be good all-stars in like a year or two. So I'm looking at Brandon Ingram. He's definitely on the trading block, but he's a very talented dude. He doesn't play that well with LeBron, but without LeBron, he plays pretty okay if he has the passion to play that night. So very talented guy. Kyle Kuzma actually plays very well with LeBron. So if you were to keep Kyle Kuzma and end up getting Anthony Davis, like Lonzo Ball doesn't fit in the equation. He's not at his level yet, his highest peak. So Rondo is already a premier point guard. So they're not going to trade Rondo. And if you look at it, Lonzo's definitely on the way out. But I'm saying because of the injury, it might hurt his stock and value. So Anthony Davis he's waiting in wings. He could sign with any team after next season. So that's look at this season. That's a season and a half he has to play for a team. So that's enough time to really do things. So I'm looking at if Toronto were to get him, Pascal Siakam is a name, and they might even have to get Serge Ibaka. But the thing is, and some future first round draft picks, and maybe another future guy. But I'm saying like Norman Powell. But I'm saying like that is a crazy awesome trade for the Raptors because you look at it, they get Anthony Davis, they have Kawhi. They're monsters. But if you look at the Lakers, if they were to trade for Anthony Davis, they wouldn't have anything else. Like Anthony Davis is a piece who needs other complementary pieces. You have LeBron and Anthony Davis. But the difference between LeBron and Kawhi, LeBron and Anthony Davis is because LeBron is a better star. And I don't think he's going to lend his star to Anthony Davis. If you look at the Lakers right now, they were just losing games, all these games, because they didn't have LeBron. They won last night because they had LeBron, period. If they have LeBron and AD, I'm not going to say it's too much. But I'm saying given the skill set of Anthony Davis, it might not be enough to beat the Warriors. So anyway, this is a future move for next season to keep Anthony Davis on the team. Because if you look at it, AD doesn't have a choice to sign with next summer. So you'd have to get him this year to get him next year. And then if you pair another max star with that, you get a super team who can beat anybody. And you might even get somebody like Clay, which is another guy minus from the Warriors. So keeping that in mind, Anthony Davis getting him right now would be a future move for the Lakers. For the Celtics, it would be to win the championship. For the Raptors, it would be to win the championship. Like other teams would trade. I wouldn't say the Sixers would do it, but Ben Simmons, if they trade Ben Simmons for Anthony Davis, it's a possibility. That's the equivalent of the trade basically. And you probably throw in JJ or somebody, maybe a Markel. But the point is, with all these teams forming, like the Rockets literally don't have the pieces to get in Anthony Davis. They wish they could. But, Hornets, underrated stock market team. But I'm looking at, even if my Hawks were crazy enough to trade for him, they would do it this year because they have the pieces to trade. Everyone besides John and Trey. And it sucks because I like Taurean Prince, but the thing is he hadn't been playing that well after the injury. But the thing is he needs more of an opportunity to show what he can do. But he's also a great piece to trade for Anthony Davis. Compliment with Kent Bazemore, James. You can throw a whole team for Anthony Davis. It's not going to be like Kristaps. That thing was really uneven because the Dallas Mavericks have all the Knicks' top scorers. I'm not even kidding. Like, who else is left? I mean, besides the guys they got in. But they got all their top scorers gone, basically. So Frank Ntilikina, this for the Knicks was good. He's good, and he's still here for them. And their draft pick Nick Knox is good. Kevin Knox is good, but I'm saying like they're going for Zion Williamson. So if you're a Knicks fan, don't worry because your team's gonna really try to lose all of these the games in the regular season to get Zion. Even though they have DeAndre, they're probably going to buy DeAndre Jordan out. He'll be a free agent sometime. And then if we look at, I know they're keeping Dennis Smith. He's going to play well, but probably not good enough to win a whole lot of games. So everyone just stay tuned. Basketball's getting in. Trade deadline's coming up. All-Star weekend. So I'll make a lot of videos for that and make 3 other uploads today. All right. Peace.